Hello everybody and welcome to In My Mug, episode number 101 on Monday the 18th of October 2010. My name is Steve Layton and I know this because I'm at Old Trafford.
So, before everybody asks why was I at Old Trafford, it was a freebie. I went to watch them against West Brom. I'm not a Manchester Red, I promise. I think there was plenty jumping off that bandwagon yesterday. So welcome to episode 101. Seriously blown away with the comments from last week. 39 as of Sunday morning now. And many more emails and many more tweets, and just absolutely blown me away. You're lovely, kind, warm people. Thank you for all of the very kind wishes for episode 100. It inspires me that I want to go and do another 100. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to go through some of the comments, but I obviously can't go through them all, so kind of thank you for commenting if you did. This is just pure kind of stuff I've picked out. So Thai subscriber deserved it because first response for 100th episode, and it's Esmeralda, long live Steve Layton. I kind of quite like the idea of me living long. That's a nice idea. And I thank you, Thai subscriber. Thanks to Gaz Whitley and Emil, Chris Cox. Having only been on board, the Steve Layton has been bandwagon for a couple of months now. Can't believe that I've been missing out. I've thoroughly enjoyed the few episodes that I've watched. Definitely be hooked for the next 100 and in the near future. And we'll continue buying the coffee from Has Been. I learn something every episode of In My Mug, and every week that goes by I'm finding myself drinking and loving coffee more. It's becoming a passion of mine. Thank you, Chris, that's really kind. Thank you to Dale, Alex and Colin, superb. Dan, congratulations. Steve, 100 on the 10th of the 10th of the 10th. How long have you had that plan for? No plan at all. Rob S, I hope to be back in the fold soon. Rob S, I hope you're back in the fold soon. I really do. Andy Stockton, who is our roaster here and good pal, well done on 100. 52 to go until the next subscription runs out. We have an ongoing joke that every time a yearly subscription comes in, that's at least another 52 episodes for me. So thank you to Mr. Walsh, Paul S, Frizzo, Andrew Duncan. 100 In My Mug shows just how much Has Been is an innovator. Oh, I wish. Constantly raising the bar for other roasters in how to engage with their customers and the coffee community. Your commitment in sharing and expanding your knowledge with us is truly humbling. Andrew, you're an absolute star. It became my passions, yeah. It became my passions. They said it would never last, let's hope it never ends. No, that was actually a misprint. They hoped it would never last, but it hung around. Johnny Java, thank you. Good luck with the new roaster. Really kind of excited to hear about that one. That's brilliant. Keep us informed. John, PJ McNally, Android, thank you. Andy from Maidenhead. Go and have a look at the comments, Andy. Dave answers your question just below your comment, so talking about the Sylvia baskets. Thank you, Dennis, Keith, Donsha, Roland. Yes, I am feeling the love, Roland. Errol, you rock, thank you. Chris Woodford, I should thank you, not the other way around, truly. Chris Bailey, coffee does, basically Chris was talking about that coffee changed as it cooled. And it does, and it's really important to make sure you don't make a snap judgment on a coffee. Kind of look at it throughout the temperatures, not only for it getting better, but sometimes coffees can drop away as well. So, Jay Fisher, thank you. Darren, I'm pleased you enjoyed both of those very, very much. The treat for me was worth it to everybody because the responses I've had from sending the Esmeralda has been stunning. Chris, my double pour, legendary. Colin Moody, please you like the Panamas. In my stein is not going to happen. My liver cannot take in my stein. It would absolutely kill me. Jason and Nick, thank you very, very much. Roland, you bang on with the tea vibe in the Esmeraldas. I think it's something I find an awful lot in them. Very tea-like, very delicate. Please Nigel like the Colger. Roland Gifford. Now, a special shout out to Roland because he was one of the first people to take it. Well, he was the first to take out the 12-month subscription, and absolutely amazing. He's been on board ever since. Roland, you're a legend, and thank you for commenting. You always do. Flibster, who really should be called Simon. you really shouldn't go back and watch those first ones. He was saying in the comments that he went back and watched episodes 1, 2, 3, and I watch them now and they make me cringe something terrible. So yeah. And finally, not least, thank you to James Grant. So a little bit of a kind of just thanking people this week, but the love was just amazing, and I really, really do appreciate it. I mean, big time. You're all beautiful people, so thank you. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to whack you on hold. I'm going to go and get the coffees ready, get it all kind of set up, and we're going to be brewing it on this beast here, which is called the Trifecta, which we shall talk about a little more in a moment. So be back in just a second. Okay, so I'm back, and this week's coffee is from the birthplace of coffee, Ethiopia. All strains, species, varietals have some history that can be traced back to Ethiopia. Ethiopia is the only place you will find coffee growing indigenously, as in it wasn't planted there by transporting it from Ethiopia. This one is a Yirgacheffe, and it is one we've talked about before, but this is a new crop one that we've been able to get, so don't confuse this with the last Yirgacheffe, although there are lots and lots of similarities. Similarities in it's from the Ethiopian Commodity Exchange, which is called the ECX, which is a marketplace for coffees to be sold that took over, so it has to go through this government-run auction. Unfortunately, in their wisdom, they decided that they would anonymise every coffee upon arrival to the exchange, so there is no way of tracing back where this Yirgacheffe is from. It makes the job harder and easier at the same time. Harder is in we can't build any relationships. It's very difficult to have any consistency, you kind of or build on that and want to do better things. But on the other hand, we are open to the cupping table. So whatever tastes good on the cupping table is what we'll buy. And the problem with Yirgacheffe is there are millions of bags sold every year which have the markings Yirgacheffe on them, but they all taste completely different. So it's kind of really good when you do look and have to cup them this way. This one came to us through an unusual source, as in we don't normally buy from this importer. They sent us some samples. We really, really liked it. So much so I bought the entire lot. So we have a good supply of this coffee, which is wonderful because we've needed that from Ethiopia for a while. I'm very, very excited about having it here. Yirgacheffe is in the middle of Sidamo, so all around it you have Sidamo, and in the middle you have Yirgacheffe. Very famous for its washed coffees, as this is. Very famous for high altitudes of 1800 to 2000 metres above sea level, which this one is. But unfortunately that's kind of where the info stops on this one. What we then move on to is what a great cup it is, and it is an absolutely phenomenal cup. I'm really I'm excited about you being able to try this with me this week. So, going to go and have a look at the roast colour. You'll see from this is a medium roast coffee, and it's a medium roast coffee for whatever brew method it goes in. I do not want to compromise the cup quality of this coffee by taking it a little bit darker because somebody believes it should be for espresso. I think it's great espresso. I don't want to take it kind of anywhere else for filter because I think this is where it really shines in brewed and filter coffee. For me, it's where this coffee is at its optimum. Lots of people made up roast Yirg a little bit darker. That ain't for me. And if you like your coffee roast a little bit darker, maybe Yirg isn't for you because that is where it really is at its best. So, time for snozzer in the bowl. And straight away what you get, because this is so delicately roasted, you can smell the vibrancy. You can smell that this is going to be bright. It's going to be full of acidity. It's going to be just lively. And it smells gorgeous as well, because Yirgs do smell absolutely amazing. The aromatics are the highlight. So, what we're going to brew today is going to use this Trifecta. It may go to plan, it may not go to plan. I haven't used it much. I'm still learning on the machine. I'm using some very basic parameters on it still. But yeah, let's get into brewing. So we have a portafilter as you would have on an espresso machine. I have 20 grams of coffee weighed out here. I'm just going to make sure that there's nothing trapped in the mouth before I put it in. Coffee in the top. I have the grind set to what I guess we would call a French press kind of grind. again, we don't want any trapped in there. So there we have 20 grams. We slot it into place, as so. Push it down so it becomes a sealed unit. And then here, there's a whole heap of things you can set the parameters to. I've got it set to around about 94 degrees. I've got it set to brew for a minute, which I'm going to get it going because it takes a little while. So I've got it set to a minute. What's happening now is it's wetting the grinds that are in there. There's a little bit of water just gone onto them, so just to moisten the grinds, and then now it starts filling. So I've set it to 312 ounces because it's an American, which is about 340 ml, which should give us a good brew. And what you see here is you can see that it's rising, hopefully, and then turbulence. Because of the bloom and it being the coffee's very fresh, you need to give it some turbulence to kind of mix it all up so that all of the grinds get wet. And we see here we've got a countdown timer, so we've got 45 seconds. Now the turbulence is cut off now, so it gives it a chance just to brew and settle as normal. 30 seconds to go. I've got a jug at the bottom to catch it when it comes through. So single cup brewer gives you the ability to brew coffees very quickly. A similar principle, I guess, to the Clover, but very different application and way to do it. Also a very, very different cup. The closest I can put the cup to is something like the French press or an Eva Solo. So you kind of got a little bit of a gritty brew. You do feel a lot of the texture of the coffee, but I think that's a good thing. I like French press brew, so I think it's brilliant. So you see there, it's forcing the coffees through, the water through. In a similar way, you think about the AeroPress, you know, it forces it through. It's working on similar principles. So it's took quite a few different brewers, Clover brewer, French press, AeroPress, to come up with this different method. I think it's very pretty to watch as well. And you know, the lights coming on, I think is a nice touch here. There's a little bit of theatre involved with it, and yeah. While we're waiting for that, these are going to be the must-have gifts for Christmas. Barista Tells. A red one for your milk, and a black one for your portafilter stroke type stuff. I'll be having those on the site fairly soon, so yeah, look out for those. So it's nearly finished, just got 7 seconds, just pushing all of the brew through. So it took around about 2 minutes from start to finish to brew a complete cup, which I don't think is bad at all. So back to mugs as well, because we haven't had a mug on for, oh crikey. Let me just get rid of that. I was trying it earlier, I managed to pour coffee all over myself. So this is from Roland Glue, who very kindly sent me this mug. He went on honeymoon to Italy, to Pisa, and this is what I got. Come back, so thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated. Regular viewers will know Roland from his comments, so yeah, super kind of you, mate. Thank you very, very much. So first off, we're smelling the brew. You can smell the summer fruit on this one. You've got that lemon, apricot, peach. It's full of it. I mean, really, really full of it on the liquor aroma. So it's a little hot, but it just really is. I'm quite surprised actually, because this machine, I've been getting some fairly dirty cups. Not dirty as in dirty tasting, but like gritty and quite a bit of texture in it. This is really clean. Super fresh, bright. Lemon is there for sure. Grapefruit is there. There's hints of apricot, as we've said. It is everything a good Yirgacheffe should be. Very proud to have it. Very pleased to hear your comments on it. I'm going to pop a voucher code up below, which will give you 50 pence off in the store for the next couple of weeks. And if you're not a subscriber, I do hope you'll try this one, because this is a staple. This is something that I think you need to have a good Yirgacheffe in the armoury, and this is definitely one of those. So even with disasters, thank you very much for joining me again. 101. I look forward to seeing you very soon. Do remember, life is too short.